My name is Pam Gilbert, and in 2003, I retired from teaching, and I decided to do a 9-month walkabout. And in that walkabout, I had several goals. One was to learn how to speak Spanish. Another one was to learn about the culture of the people in Latino countries. And the third one was to find a good place to do volunteer work. And I'm now in Ecuador, and I'm realizing I'm actually making money being on the road because I was renting out my house in Colorado. So I decided to splurge and hire a guide and do a 6-day hike. And so here we are on day 2, and our guide missed the turn. And so we were on the wrong side of the canyon. And it's now about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and our driver was already at our destination with our gear, so we really had to get there. And so we kept walking to the edge of the canyon to look for a way to scramble down to get to the other side. And our guide sees 2 bodies on the other side of the canyon. And he motions to them that we want to get over to that side. And sure enough, those bodies noticed us, and they pointed a way for us to down climb, and which we did. And we forded the river. And sure enough, as we're climbing up, those 2 bodies waited for us. And it turned out that they were 2 boys that we had met that morning who were doing a minga. It was a Sunday, and their math teacher motivated all these middle school kids to come. It turns out these boys walked 2 hours to help plant ava beans for a family that needed help. So I said in the back of my mind, if that math teacher can motivate these kids, so can I. So then the 2 boys walked with us, which, I'm surprised. Teenage boys paying attention to adults who were in trouble and then going out of their way to get us on the right path. And so they went an hour and a half out of their way to get us on the right path to our destination. And I kept dreaming about those 2 boys. So I decided that I would return and find those boys. I went to Ecuador, took my 3rd formal week of Spanish. Armed with a photo of the boys, I hop on a bus and I go back to the place I slept at the night after they helped us. I just wanted to help these 2 boys get a high school education, because in our little walk, they said, you could just see it in their eyes. They were just so grateful that their family allowed them the opportunity to go to school, even though it was walking 2 hours each way on the weekends. They were just grateful to have this opportunity. It was fabulous. So I'm practicing telling my story to all the kids who were there on the playground. Well, actually, we moved to the little 1-room schoolhouse. And just as I was about to deliver the punchline of my story that I was there to find Pedro and Latero, they walk in the room, because those kids had hollered for these 2 boys, because I had mentioned those names earlier in my story. And right after them, the president of the community arrived, and he said he saw what I was about, and one thing led to another, and he said they could use a 1-room schoolhouse. And he said they would do a minga, which was the same thing the boys were doing. In English, we would probably call that volunteer work or barn raising. That the people would do a minga if I would find the money. And he said it would be about $1,000. So I'm a retired teacher. I have no children, so I can find $1,000. So then I, first being also a logical person, went to the local Department of Education and along with the president, met with the director of education and said, if we provide this schoolroom, would you provide us a teacher? And it took 10 days of my waiting, but I finally got a letter that said, if the money is available, they would give us a teacher. So I said, okay, fine. So I returned to this, I buy 25 quintales of cement. The people said that they would make blocks to build this schoolroom, and I returned to Boulder, Colorado, and ended up telling my friends about this story, so I got an additional $4,000, and 6 months later, I returned to Ecuador. The people indeed had poured the blocks to build this schoolhouse, and we started in April of 2004, and I was there for 4 to 6 weeks, and then I returned in October when we inaugurated the school. The schoolhouse, because of the extra money, also included a teacher's apartment.
las hortalizas nosotros hemos sabido sembrar o ya no comprar en los mercados ni en la plaza. Hoy en día nosotros en poco a poco hemos estado yendo. Gracias para mi compañera Pamelita han ido cambiando. Nosotros queremos más apoyo, que nos brinde ayuda, compañerita, más para nuestras mujeres, compañeras. No, entonces hasta eso me agradezco, compañera Pamelita.
Entonces las mujeres de Tunguiche han beneficiado.
Sí, compañera.
¿En cuáles maneras más?
De eso nosotros, parte de hortalizas y parte de agua de consumo, riego, todo eso hemos ido cambiando, compañeras, educación, en nuestro aseo, todo eso hemos cambiado nuestra vida.
¿Y cómo era antes cuando no había venido Pamelita?
Ahí no teníamos así hierbita, nada, o sea, así era seco. Entonces ya ahora que remedio ya utilizamos todo eso, ya tenemos resultados, más que todo ya tenemos.
¿Puede hablar un poco de potable, del sistema de potable?
Ujú. También el agüita no teníamos así mismo agua potable.
¿Y cómo conseguían agua antes?
Más antes en barriles, íbamos así lejos para hacer cargar, entonces ahí lo que nosotros llegábamos y ese tiempo había unos punditos y eso quebraba a veces en medio camino.
O sea que estamos muy contentos porque ha llegado Pamelita una ayuda grande. Gracias a Dios tenemos así ahorita de consumo también, ya tenemos ya aquí bien ya instaladito, ya